Welcome to day 5 of the 30 Days to Ascension challenge. If you have not already watched the videos from days 1 through 4, I would recommend going back and catching up on those because you will want to watch all of these videos in order to fully go through the process. And before I hop in, I just want to remind you that there are 3 pieces each day to this challenge. So the first is the channeled message right here in this video, on these videos. The second is the membership video. So every day I'm posting in my membership, the channel collective, a video that goes along with the daily channeled message where I talk more in depth, share a bit of my reflection, share a bit more about how you can connect this more to your own life, and talk about anything else that the guides had to say about the lesson. And then the third piece are the daily emails. Now these are going to be really, really helpful to allow you to really integrate the lessons because we are covering a lot of information. And if you haven't already signed up for those emails, then just check out the link below. There will be a link for you to sign up for those if you haven't already gotten those emails. So those are the 3 pieces. I would strongly recommend taking part in all 3 of the pieces if you really want to get the full experience. So I know we have already covered a lot of information and it's only day 5, so I'm really excited for the next 25 days to see what unfolds. And we've covered some deep topics. It has probably encouraged you to do a lot of deep reflection, which is a great thing. That's a main part of the process. And today I was just, meditating beforehand, connecting with the guides. Today, Serapis Bey is going to come in again. He's just the leader of this whole challenge. And he's actually going to talk about what I thought he was going to talk about earlier on. What I thought he was going to talk about day 1, which is more about the physical body and thinking more about just physical aspects of ascension. And he said, as I was just connecting with him before, he just said, it's not going to be what you expect. So I'm really excited to see what comes through. And we'll just get into it. So let's take a moment, connect, and Serapis will teach today's lesson. He will share his message. And I will also say, disclaimer as always, before I dive into this, like with any channeled messages, just take it as interesting information. You do not have to take it on as your own truth. Of course not. It's up to you to discern what is your truth and what isn't. It's just information, and if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, no worries, leave it. So I just want to say that you should always practice discernment with anything channeled, whether it is your own channeling or from anybody else. You know how to discern. Okay, so that being said, he's like, yeah, come on. All right, so I'll just connect and then Serapis will come through. Today I will be discussing how the physical body connects with the ascension process. Now there are many different facets to this topic, and I will try and simplify it as much as possible. Now the recommendations we would make to support your physical body in the ascension process would actually differ depending on the individual, where they are at in their own spiritual journeys, their own ascension process, but also their unique genetic makeup, for you understand that there is much within you, actually so much within you, that you are not fully aware of, that you have not fully expressed. All of your DNA has not fully been expressed. And as you ascend, you will experience a shifting in the way you view the nutrients that you desire, as the way you view as the way you view your body and food adjust. You will notice that this coincides with your ascension process. And so at baseline, if you are starting from ground zero, of course, the standard recommendation will be, how do we remove that which separates you from you as a natural being? it is no secret that much of the food, the water, the supplements you take, the medications you take have been tampered with in different ways, have ingredients that do not naturally work always well with biology. Nothing is perfect in that way, and there has been much that has been put into the food system that has lowered your vibration. And so in general, as an overarching statement, and I will say, because so many people prefer qualifiers, it is to understand in all of these messages that every single nuance cannot be discussed in one conversation. The conversation is a long one, and different discussions of nuance can occur, but potentially all at different times. And so it is important to understand this as you dive into all of these topics. But to begin, starting to learn how your body feels without all of the chemicals, without all of the processing, trying to remove as much as possible that which calcifies your pineal gland, trying to consume as much as possible filtered water. And we know this is not accessible to everyone. It is about trying your best, and especially with water, understanding that the intention, yes, the language you use and your intention, your vibration will completely shift water that you consume. And so I will discuss the physical things to think about. However, it is important to remember that, yes, your frequency, your intention can override what is given to you. You always have this ability, but it takes belief in this and understanding it and working with this vibration. And the more you do this type of deeper work, you will learn to work with your energy body, to work with your frequency, to adjust, to turn the knob, so to speak, and to override. You are able to shift your energy so that things may not affect you as much. And that is not to say that certain things will not affect you, because you might experience effects. But do you believe that there is recovery and regeneration? Because there very much is, so available to you. So there are many nuances to this topic. Now, in general, trying to consume as much filtered water as possible and adding in high quality sea salt, not the processed bleach, not the processed bleached version, the fake version. And this is what is interesting about much of your system, is so much has been turned into what is fake. So much has been stripped away. Nature has been stripped away, and this is how you become disconnected with Earth itself. And so in the process of consuming food, nutrients, drinking, ask yourself, in this process, am I connected to nature itself? Even in the way things are cooked and how they are prepared, the energy behind the food's preparation. All of these different factors come into play when we are uncovering how particular foods and substances affect your body. Energy and intention is so key behind everything. And so, yes, it is simple to say what will help you reach your state of neutral, so that you can then play with your body. But it is important to get into a baseline, eating foods that are as closest to their natural form as possible. And what is very disappointing for many of you is that for much of your food availability, it is actually difficult for many of you to get foods that are as close to nature as possible, even in what is sprayed on them. And we will not say specifics. I will not say specifics here, but I understand that you know what I am referring to. And this all separates us more and more from Earth, from nature. And it is to get back into our natural state that will help to realign us with our own natural frequencies the most. And so it is important to understand that there has been much in the food supply that has lowered the vibration. However, all is not lost. This does not mean that you cannot shift your energy. It is this knowledge that allows you to set clearer intention around the food you consume. And this is what is interesting, is you can consume the same foods at different times in your life with a different energy, a different frequency, a different intention, different emotions behind the consumption, and feel very differently in your body because of it. And this is so key. And so, yes, in the simple form, eating foods that are as unprocessed as possible, and understanding that every single food has a unique energy to it. Now, as you strip away that which has caused dysfunction in your natural signaling of hunger, fullness, digestion, connecting your brain with the rest of your body, for much of the food supply has sort of caused a disorder within all of these systems. As you peel away what has been processed and tampered with and focus on what is whole and natural more and more, you will start to reach balance and alignment again. And this is where you can then listen to the internal signals of what you desire. And so it is almost like a full circle where many people might experience a situation of at first not responding well to all of the processed foods, and it pulls them out of alignment. And then as they continue, they move into more of a whole foods based diet. And with this, it is of course important to pay attention to quality. It is again all about the intention and the energy, and to ask yourself, what is the intention behind me consuming this? What was the intention behind removing this food from where it was naturally found? What is the energy of this food itself? What is the vibration? How did I cook or not cook this food? And yes, as you start to eat foods that are more raw, again, closer to their natural state, you will become more in alignment. But you will do this more and more and start to find that your signaling, so to speak, comes back on. And then from there, now that your signaling is back on, it is to listen to exactly what you might need. And this is a whole new way of viewing what you consume. Instead of fitting everything into a box, and you have understandings of different nutrients that you believe you must need, but this is what the physical body at the average frequency in the past has quote unquote needed according to your science. But what about the differences that come as the collective shifts into a higher frequency, into a different energy, and as more of your DNA becomes expressed, unlocked? And how does this shift the physical body? The physical body will shift, and your cravings, your inclinations may naturally shift as well, but do you trust yourself to follow those? And so your channel has questioned how sometimes after moving into a whole foods diet, there is more craving of processed foods. It is simply to trust the process. You are being led to that food coming from a place of alignment and balance, and so it is to move forward into, oh, now I can trust this knowing, and I'm being led there for a reason. And so this is how you might experience a sort of full circle effect. And you will move into a situation where it might feel like what you desire makes absolutely no sense. And it might push the boundaries of your understanding when you realize that your body thrives in a way of eating that made no logical sense to you before. And this is an energy that many of you are moving into. And this is pure trust. And as your body ascends, your vibration raises, the way you view food, the way you view your body, the way you view nutrients, your cravings, the way you want to eat, it will shift. You will notice that you feel you require less food the more you raise your frequency. However, in the process, it is quite common for many of you to be extremely hungry during the awakening process, as your body needs more fuel for all of the shifts and changes, as your body is recalibrating, as more DNA is unlocked, expression is occurring, new expressions, and you will notice, many of you, maybe not all, but many will notice more and more hunger as things are activated, and even within the process cycles of extreme hunger and then appetite going down, as you are more and more connected with your endless power source of source itself, as you are more in connection with your connection with source, you as an extension of the infinite source of energy, you will notice you require less food. However, if you do not naturally feel that lessening of appetite, it is not the time to force it upon your body. And this is working against your body. You see, it is to start to work with your body again. For so much of the messaging and the way that you have been brought up has told you to do things a certain way. And it is to unravel all of those beliefs. Why were you told to do things a certain way? And if that certain way worked for some people, this does not necessarily mean it will work for all or work for you. For if there was one key, one way to unlock, wouldn't everybody already know? And there would be no struggle. And so there is much importance in understanding that there is such individuality between all of you, each being, and it is to go with the flow of what your unique body needs and how it will shift and change over time. And I will express this very clearly. It is so important to listen to the shifts and changes. Many of you have gotten into routine. Routine often keeps you in the same space. Now, to get the change as you shift your frequency, it is only natural to realize that you might want a change in the routine of the way you eat. Even in timing and what you put on your plate, what would it feel like to actually listen to the body's natural desires, even if it felt like it did not make sense? It is to trust yourself and to understand that every single energy, every single combination of foods, which are energy, they all create their own unique frequency. And so it is to trust that as you become a being in alignment with the highest vibration, as you're more connected with yourself as energy itself, where there is anything to be adjusted in your frequency, your energy, wouldn't it only be natural to feel the need to consume foods with a unique mixture of energy, is how I would like to put it, with a specific frequency that perhaps is beyond your conscious awareness, and to call that into your body to adjust your frequency to become back into alignment. It is a completely different way to look at food, but it is to trust yourself. To trust yourself, however, it is important to start from the place of getting back into calibration, eating whole, unprocessed foods, high vibrational foods, setting pure intention, clear intention. This food gives me love. This food is love. This food gives me healing. This food is healing. I am healing as I eat this food. These are all potential things that you can say. You can say so much more. Charge the food. Speak to the food as if it is a friend. Charge the energy of the food and consume it. You have this power and this ability. And it is so important to remember to be clear on why you're consuming what you are consuming. How is it that you feel about your body, and how does that drive your behavior? How does that drive your desires to eat certain things, to eat in a certain way? And this goes back to honesty, love. For when you remember these key codes, now you can bring these into the way you treat your body, the way you fuel yourself, the way you adjust your vibration with the food you eat. It is the intention always. How would you feel about food, understanding everything is energy? And there are certain foods that have higher frequencies and lower frequencies, and you will feel it in your body. And it is important to understand that how that feels for you is quite unique, and it might feel different for another. Can you release judgment of yourself, of what you desire, and simply let yourself move toward what feels good, even if it does not make sense? There has been so much guilt and shame put into the whole process of eating itself, consuming itself, and how is this affecting the energy behind you consuming food? Are you using food or anything that you consume as a way to numb out, to punish yourself, to fix yourself when you don't need fixing, to change yourself from a place of hatred or shame, as opposed to fueling yourself with love and happiness? It is to create coherence within your entire system. And so as you step into being the truth of you as a high vibrational being, what types of high vibrational foods do you wish to eat? And you can shift the vibration of food with your intention, with your words, with your language, with your love, with your preparation. What is the intention behind the way you consume food? What is the intention behind the way you move your body? For we can see many parallels between the way you consume food and the way you move your body. For so many of you, it has been a punishment. Where is the fun? Where is the creativity? Where is the play? And again, how to eat, what to eat, how to move your body, when to move it, how much will be incredibly dependent on the individual. As a general suggestion, many of you will notice a desire to stretch more. This is moving energy in your body and helping get out any energetic knots within your system, stretching more, becoming more flexible, doing more movement that encompasses embodiment, that connects you to your body itself. Does the type of movement you do connect you back to your body? Allow you to remember the beauty of your body itself, how sacred it is. Are you treating your body like the sacred vessel it is? To know that your body is a sacred vessel, does this change the way you move it? Fuel it? It is to create a vessel that is of the vibration you wish to live in. And so slowing down for many of you, not all of you, for some of you it might be kicking it up, but being gentle with your body, it all comes back to coming back to what was natural for you. Is it natural to beat up your body? And moving back to strength, there are ways to build strength that are not coming from force or hatred or pushing. This is why so many of you experience feeling so much better when you loosen up a bit. However, to lay around and never move your body, never move out any energy that is no longer serving you, to not strengthen, lengthen, reconnect with your body in any way, is also not doing service. And you will notice that the more you become connected with your body and find balance, I understand this is an elusive term, but it is true, finding your version of balance, for your version of balance will be quite different from the person next to you. This allows you to be more in alignment with yourself and sets the stage, sets a strong foundation for the codes and pillars to come. It all works together. It is in giving yourself enough rest, enough sleep to regenerate and to receive activations, to receive upgrades. Giving your body the space and time it needs to be outside in nature, to move, to stretch. Feel into where you feel tension in your body and move that area. Release that stagnant energy and ask, how would my body feel nourished today? There is much value in switching up the way you move your body and feeling into what it needs in that moment. Does it feel uncomfortable for you to let go of clear structure? Does it feel uncomfortable for you to do less or to do more? Where is the discomfort? This is building a different type of strength as well. But as you ascend and shift and change, it is time to stop thinking of everything within the paradigm you were taught. Doesn't it make sense that as more of your DNA is expressed and you show up as a different type of being, that the biological needs might shift? What a beautiful thing that so many of you have such different opinions on what is healthiest. There are options for everyone. Take what you please. Leave what isn't interesting to you in that moment, you might come back to it. There are so many different ways, so many different types of structure, but what would it be to release the structure and simply take all of the information and feel into each day, each moment, what your vessel needs to rise? Prepare your body for ascension. This is how you must treat your body. Your body is the vessel. Information coming through. It is the home for your soul. How will you treat the home for your soul? It is a sacred space, and you get to discern what makes it sacred. This is your right to choose, not another's. It is to come back in alignment with trusting yourself and who you truly are. Give yourself a chance to try something completely different. For the way beings outside of your conscious awareness feel themselves is quite different from you. If you are connected to the infinite source of all, how does that affect your view of needing to fuel yourself? I will leave you with this question. Prepare your vessel for more to come. Okay. All right. There's Serapis. Excited to hear what you have to say. I will be posting a video in the membership, so check that out. It'll be up. And check your email for today's daily action steps.